Good day, talkbackers out there in YouTube land. This is Wake Up. I'm going to talk to you about a book that Mark Miller wrote and a bloke called Steve McNiven basically drew. And the tagline of it was Whose Side Are You On? It was a 7-part miniseries that ran from 2006 to 2007, and the more astute colleagues out there who have looked above this box, you'll know now that it's about the 7-part series called Marvel Civil War, which was a continuation from the Secret War by Brian Michael Bendis. Let me just say this thing was very, very good. I mean, it was very political. It looked at the Patriot Act, kind of superhero styled it, and it's basically about superhero registration. I normally don't read that much Marvel stuff, but I did hear from a very respectable guy that this thing was very good, so I decided to check it out. It was a very interesting read. The characters in it were quite well thought out considering how many there were. The good thing I liked about this was the book doesn't actually want you to sympathise with one. You know, there's no clear-cut good guy and bad guy. It shows both arguments about the Superhero Registration Act. And even after you see several of these characters side with one of them, you see the repercussions of their actions. You know, and it even tends to have some of these superheroes questioning whether they're on the right side or not. They don't actually know. It's not that clear-cut. And as a consequence, you get some superheroes that start off supporting the Patriot Act, which is what it's called, and then they switch. I don't want to talk to you about that much with the character development because I don't want to spoil it for you. I will say that it was very, very interesting seeing which characters headed up both the underground, like terrorism one, if you will, and the government-supported one, which was to the other extreme of like 1984 style. Let me just talk to you about what the Superhero Registration Act required. They basically wanted superheroes to unmask themselves like Tony Stark and did with Iron Man. And they want them to be put on a register, and they want them to be trained by the government and paid by the government and get holidays, of course, by the government, to be a job. And it also briefly looks at some of the superheroes saying, well, I don't do it do it for recognition. I do it because I get I get pleasure from it. I get pleasure from being having the mask over me and kicking the crap out of bad guys. And it also, even though you do get supervillains do get involved with one side in particular, it also shows that supervillains too don't want to be signed up to it, because you get both supervillains that want to join both sides, which was a very interesting take, you know. You get this also, there was one guy, Luke Cage, he compares the Registration Act to slavery, and then you get another superhero like Spider-Man, just compares it to, you know what, it seems to make sense. It tips its hat to many different superheroes and villains, which is also a very nice touch, as I mentioned. It was good to see that. I mean, this Mark Miller is clearly a guy who was a big fan of Marvel and knows his stuff. It makes the reader look at their own core values at determining which side they want to sympathise with, as I've mentioned. And also a very funny line of it is you get, just before the very end battle, you have the tagline, Avengers Unite. And then you get other Avengers who were in the Avengers on the other side saying, I thought we were the Avengers, aren't we the good guys? Which was very good to see. It was quite funny. And the artwork was very, very good as well. Steve McNiven, I'm definitely going to look out for this guy's more of his work. It was good to see. Did a lot of justice to the superheroes that he drew. The storyline was so good, in fact, that it was actually used in the second Ultimate Alliance game. And I think I'm definitely going to check that out next. I haven't played, but I'll definitely rent it now. I did play the first Ultimate Alliance, and that was good fun too. Anyway, I'll just stick to my guns, and that was a brief review. It's definitely worth reading. I'd give it about a 6 out of 10. It's a lot better, considering it's Marvel, and I'm not a really big fan of Marvel. It was definitely well worth checking out. The site is www.talkbackworld.net for the real fan. If you're not a real fan, these guys will test you, and you'll get eaten alive. Bay out, and
Are you crazy! Gonna kill me! You're welcome! Every one of us is expendable! Yeah, brother.
Fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
How cool is
So
that?
many good actors in there.
I know.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be fucking sweet.
That's gonna be quite good, isn't it?